Hello, look at me. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello, look at me. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hey. Hello? Hello? Hello, look at me. Can you hear me now? Okay, I can see your mouth moving, but it looks like you did not unmute yourself. Okay, I should act. Okay, sorry.
It's from your hand anyway.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My face is not showing yet.
What's not showing?
I said my face is not showing yet.
Yes, you have to turn on your video for it to show.
Yes, I will. I will soon. Yes. So you requested for some things.
I've tried to improvise. The only thing I don't have is because I cleaned up my phone. I flashed my phone, so I do not have those documents that highlights each of the topics and like a brief listing on each of the topics. I do not have them anymore. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The briefs. Comment. Are you talking about what I sent to you yesterday?
No. I'm talking about what is sent into the group at the time that highlights each of the topics, or it's no longer valid.
Okay,
to stand as a guide.
more like the concept notes.
Notes, yes, concept note, that's the word.
Okay. I'm gonna give me a moment, please. Hello, Mr. Joseph. Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying. I'm trying to join you. You don't use the link, use that code. Use that code instead, please. So people will have to go in and use this. Yes.
How will people know that is what they're supposed to do?
No.
How will people know that that's how
the problem the mistake I made was the link I sent to you guys yesterday to join this meeting was the link I sent to you again this morning.
Oh.
Okay. Yes.
But what about the people that registered?
The people that registered is a different link I sent to them, definitely. That link was just created yesterday evening, and I had scheduled I had already scheduled an email to them before I even created that new link. So
okay, now please, because someone like Olive, she said she registered, but she did not get a mail.
Yeah, what do you say?
Someone registered but did not get a mail.
Someone registered but did not get a mail. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm coming for look at me. Yeah, Mr. Ajita, what do you say? The meeting link did not change. The meeting link is the same thing. Okay, the one I sent to you is not the meeting link. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. The one I sent to you earlier is not the meeting link. You sent it to people on WhatsApp. Wow. Wow. I did not notice it. It was the link I sent to you yesterday that I resent to you. It was the link I sent to you yesterday. That's what, yes. This guy is a conference meeting link. Yeah. check the link and use it to compare what I sent to you yesterday. The one we used to join the meeting. Okay. Don't give me code. Copy the meeting link and send it. Okay, let me do that. I'm coming for the game.
No problem. Are you sure you don't need an assistant like this?
Okay. The son is already in the waiting room, but I did not want to allow the person in until we are all sorted out.
And it's 12 o'clock now.
Yes, I started. I'm the one doing it. I don't know. Festus is not here yet.
Oh, Festus, so he has not been able to recharge his phone.
I don't even know. I'm coming.
It's offline.
Okay, I'm back. I'm trying to log into my WhatsApp. It's my WhatsApp on my system, so I can send it to you. Or I should send it to you as a mail. You did not. Did you register for it? Did you register for it? Did you register for it? How will I get your mail? How will I get your mail if you did not register for it? I'm not able to get it now.
But what do you call her name? Offray sent a mail using the MailChimp to all the email addresses. I actually got that.
Okay, but you did not get the one for you signed up for the
only registered. One of my team members registered, but did not get a mail.
Okay, I'm coming. Mr. Joseph, I'm also on a call with Folukemi, so that's why it's looking like I'm saying something different. Check your email. Check your email. I sent it to your email already. Yeah, okay. So maybe I should send it to people already in the waiting room. Okay, just there. This link now and what I have, they're not the same. Check it. They're not the same. Check the last four. This thing. That one is GT09. This one is UT09. They are different. You can drop this one and talk to me through Zoom since you are there already. Okay, check your email, please. Okay. So the concept notes is what you need. Let me send the concept note to you. How do I do that now? How do I do that?
Just forward it to me from what on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp. Do I have it on my phone?
Mr. Joseph has been muted. So let him get angry.
I've asked him to unmute already.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Joseph.
What
I said they
happened?
should mute.
We
I
are
said they
supposed
should
to have,
mute you. No, it's not yet 12.
yeah, we are supposed to have broadcasted and what is it called? We are supposed to have started broadcasting this thing now. We are supposed to have started displaying something. We can't just wait till
Yeah,
it's
it's
12
there.
now.
It's there. It was showing. That's the video, the YouTube video that is playing.
Playing, okay. But
If I am playing this, I wouldn't be able to do anything else on my system. That's the problem.
you won't be able to do any of that thing.
Anything else, yes. I've had to stop it so as to
Share the particular tab now. Share a particular tab and then be
it's a
doing all that
particular
thing.
tab. Since I'm putting it in a full screen, since I'm putting this in a full screen, I wouldn't be able to do anything else, and I'll need to leave.
I don't understand what you mean by it.
Are you still seeing what is there?
Give me permission to share my
Yes.
screen. Give me permission to share my screen. Let me share the video for you.
Okay. Okay, you can share your screen now.
Stop sharing now.
Okay.
Can you people see me? Can you see it?
Yes, you can see it.
Yes.
Which part can you people see?
Everything.
Everything, like my whole screen.
I know what I mean by everything, as in I can see the whole of the YouTube page.
Where is the video now? Is it this one or this one?
Just play the one.
Festus,
What happened to Festus?
I don't know. No idea. He's not online.
All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Festus is here.
Welcome back. Welcome back at 12 on the dot.
I saw your message.
Technical director that is
Okay,
coming very
okay,
late.
first,
I did not come late, though. I was trying to fix some logistics issues so that we don't have a disappointment. So it's great to have me. So what's on the table?
okay, so Festus.
Yeah.
Festus, can you hear me? Yeah, I'll be going off now.
Okay.
I'll be going off. I'll be logging out through this. I'll be logging out of this account and I'll be logging in back through my other account.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we are to play this thing now.
Yes.
Let me
Mr.
check.
Joseph is supposed to share screen. Please give him access to share screen.
All right.
Screen.
We have 3 persons in the waiting room. I should admit all of them, right? Does this format show? Mr. Joseph, are you able to share your screen? Please confirm.
Chief. Sure.
Yeah, face two, please go ahead and share the screen. What I wanted to share was the YouTube channel. Just go ahead, since you are here now.
Okay, give me a minute.
Sir, just please pronounce your surname for me again. Mr. Joseph. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. You're welcome to Jed Conference, Child Trust Conference 2023. My name is Fumikemi Kalia. I'm the head PR and social media for Jed and your moderator for today. I'm very sure we're all excited. Please, if you are excited, just give me this. Let me see your i5. If you're excited to be here, let me see your i5. In 3 minutes, let's just give some people who are trying to log to come in. In 3 minutes. Would start. You're welcome, everyone, and it promises to be a fantastic conference. You're going to be learning a lot. We are going to be discussing, and we are going to be rubbing minds on the future of education in Africa. So I look forward to having fun with everybody and our guests as well. So while we're waiting, let's just be patient, and in 3 minutes, like I said earlier, would commence. Thank you. Okay. Yes, we are back, and I hope you're all ready. This is 11 minutes past 12, and I would like to welcome you once again to the JED Conference 2023. I hope you'd learn a lot. I'm looking forward to you learning a lot. In fact, I'm also looking forward to learning as well. We are going to be having a fantastic guest here, telling us a lot about mental health, talking about finances, talking about education, and several other topics that are very interesting and informative as well. Um, I'd like to invite the Executive Director, Mr. Joseph Manam, to come and give us his welcome speech. Remember, we are here to talk about the sustainable framework of education for African children. So let's welcome Mr. Joseph, Mr. Manam. Joseph, I hope I've not murdered his name. Let's welcome Mr. Joseph Manam to come and give us his welcome speech.
Yeah, please, can you unmute the second Jed account, please? Thank you very much for that. And hi, Folukemi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're welcome, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah,
I can
thank
see
you.
you're vibrant this morning and this afternoon rather. And we have a lot of people here who are very interested, as in I've been seeing them waving their hands, telling us welcome, and they would like to hear from you. So over to you, Mr. Joseph. Please kindly welcome our guest.
Yeah, thank you very much for Kemi. Let me begin with the fact that you did indeed murder my name.
I said
You
it
did
before. I said
indeed.
I hope I did more than it.
Yeah, but you made a lot of effort, so, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you very
So
much.
can you correct me? Can you correct me? Just pronounce it.
Yeah, my name is pronounced as Amanam. Amanam.
Amanam. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it's
I won't make that
pronounced.
mistake again. Amanam.
Yeah, that's
Did I
nice.
get it right now?
Yeah, you got it. You got it perfect. You did very amazing. Yeah. So I would go straight. Let me thank everybody. I thank everyone for being here. I would begin with something that happened while I was a teenager. So while I was a teenager, I had this interest in languages. I wanted to learn a lot of languages, and so I met one of just a closest student who knows how to speak French. So I was like, I want to learn how to speak French. Please, could you teach me how to speak French? And he was like, for you to speak French, all that you need to do is at the end of each pronunciation of a word, just add a vowel sound. And when I did that to some French speakers, I can't remember what exactly happened, but I know that I did not get home alone that day. I think some people escorted me, escorted me home. So distinguished guests, patrons, volunteers, some of our children, if any of them are here, our colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, everybody here. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the second Jed Child Annual Conference, which is taking place online. I am very grateful to the head of programs, Tayo, and I'm very grateful to Gabrielle. I don't know if she's here, Gabrielle. I don't know if you're here, Gabrielle. I'm very grateful to you. Gabrielle is the founder of the Ellen Bradshaw Foundation. I am grateful to Dr. Alex of Yes Tech. I'm quite very grateful, and I'm grateful to those that are speaking today. More you are. Thank you for being here. I'm also grateful to the National Librarian. I don't know if she's here, but if she's not here, a representative if they are here. I'm also grateful to the regional coordinator for United Nations. We're supposed to be here, Mr. Matthias. We are together and at the conference in Abuja last month, and he said he would be here. I don't know if he's here, but if he's here, I'm so grateful to you for accepting to be here. Everybody, the speakers, everybody, no matter the role you played, I am quite very grateful for your commitments and efforts towards making this happen. It is also my pleasure to welcome all our volunteers from around the globe, from every part of the world. I am most grateful to welcome you, our academicians, our sponsors for all our activities for the conference, and I am most grateful to you. I am indeed honored to welcome you to this conference. And this conference is a product of our vision in 2018, which we decided to start the Jed Child Trust Foundation to take education to the rural areas. Well, though things might look all better, but it was not all rosy for me when it started. I struggled to receive basic education, and I worked hard. And today I am grateful that some people supported me, and I feel the Jed Child Trust Foundation is out there to support other people. And we've started for over 4 years. We've grown our operations, and we have links to over 5 countries in Africa, and so far we've been able to help about 67,555 people in many ways through our talks, through our distribution of exercise books and other things, and we've been able to reach about 15 communities, and our online programs keep reaching a lot of people. And now we are in 2023. The past is gone, and 2023 is here. We'll have to move forward, and we are proud to host this annual conference, which is has the theme Sustainable Framework of Education for African Children. And based on this topic, based on this theme, I feel, in my opinion, I think that the time is now. This is the right time for us to reflect on the number of questions. And the number of questions we at Jed have to ask ourselves is, have our programs had the intended effect? Has it had the intended effect? And then how can we maintain lasting or sustainable education? How do we achieve this sustainable education? And how do we produce intellectual children that will be future leaders to correct societal ills? How do we do that? So these and many more are the questions which we have to ask ourselves as an organization, and we all as individuals have to ask ourselves, how much are we contributing to achieving this goal? And I feel that the right time to act is it's now. We have to act now, and we can't just give up on our children. We can't just give up on them. And our forefathers fought, they never give up. And why should we give up? We shouldn't give up at all. So I hope that this gathering will address a lot of issues that are related to sustainable education for African children. And I am most grateful to have all of you here. And I am indeed very indebted. And I wish to say once again, you are all welcome. You are all welcome to the annual conference of Jed Child Trust Foundation 2023. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Kemi.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Thank you. You have a good dream there. We are happy to be associated with you. And we know that a lot will be done as well. Okay, to move on, before we move on, I would like to recognize and appreciate our partners and some of for our partners, we'd like to recognize Ellen Bradshaw Foundation, Gallup Zuban, ASEAN Youth Organization. These three have been with us through Think and Thin, and we look forward to continually being in partnership with them. Would also like to recognize some persons who have as volunteers. They are always available at our beck and call. We'd like to recognize Gabriel Gay, Alex Reeves, Fanet Carl, Muiwa Fashaki, Tamara O. Morera, Adebusui Tayo, Desmond Inebwe, Jide Abola. Please don't mind my Kosa, David Dancel, Patience, Asinwe, Otto, Musu, Ojo Abiola, Solomon Adebola, Ilsen, and Aroma. These people have been with us, and we are glad to recognize them. So, with no further ado, I'd like us to go into the session properly. We are moving to the first session now, where we'll be talking on, well, we're talking for this session is Mr. Muiwa Fashaki and Aisha Joseph. They will be speaking with us. So we'll be discussing critical dialogue on mental health issues plaguing the African student community. Mr. Muiwa is one of the world's most sought after creative intelligence experts. He has an author of several life-changing books and empowered programs. Glad to have you here, Mr. Muiwa Fashaki, to discuss mental health with us today. Also, Ms. Aisha Joseph. She's currently a student at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, where she's pursuing a master's degree in climate change, finance, and investment. And she's also a business development officer at Barbados-based family-owned and operated IT consulting and supporting services company. She is here with us today to also discuss mental health, spreading critical dialogue on mental health issues plaguing the African student community. Join me in welcoming the two of them as we discuss mental health. Thank you. Mr. Muiwa.
I guess I'll go first. Hi, good morning, everyone. So my name is Aisha Joseph. I am actually from Barbados. So I would have met Joseph at, I think it was the UNCTAD Youth Conference about 2 or 3 years ago now. That was supposed to be held in Barbados, but it was held during the COVID pandemic time. And so it was mainly online. But we've stayed in touch for a while, and when Joseph asked me to speak on this topic, I was a little, concerned that I wouldn't be able to really share, really get you guys to relate to what I'm saying, because I'm from Barbados. But I will say I know what it is to be a student. As mentioned, I would have done my undergrad for 3 years in Jamaica, and I spent about 5 months or 6 months of that time living in Canada as well. And I will say, in terms of mental health, the first sense that I got that it was something that I should really pay attention to was when I started my undergrad. I always knew that I was like an anxious person, but I never really, paid attention to it. But when I became a student, everything, I suddenly had like all these deadlines, so many different things. I was living in a different country, so obviously I wanted to explore. You have all these new friends. So many things are demanding your attention as a student, and need to learn how to balance that and take care of yourself, and obviously take care of your mental health. So I'll say, it's kind of a separate but long story. I unknowingly was drinking energy drinks when I was a student, and my anxiety had like come to a head. Like, it had gotten really bad. I was beginning to smell smoke at the time, which was kind of, I didn't know that that was a symptom of like extreme stress, but it was. And then one day I was like, this doesn't feel right. And I decided to go to the doctor because I thought I was physically ill, because my throat was hurting me, my chest was hurting me. So I went to the doctor, and he checked me out, and he was like, nothing is wrong with you. You're like in perfect health. Like, what's going on? And so we had a conversation and we had a chat, and he basically told me like, listen, you're stressed and you need to take care of yourself a little better. And yeah, so after that, I really realized that, mental health is something you should pay attention to, especially as a student. Fast forward to the COVID-19 pandemic. That's a lot of fast forwarding, but I know that was especially hard. I wasn't a student at that time, but I have a little sister, and she was a student, and I could see how difficult it was to, one, not be able to see her friends, people that she'd see every day and play with and talk to. And then two, like making the transition to learning online, and it was extremely difficult for her. And it was extremely difficult for me to see that with her. But talking about myself now, I'm kind of a very meticulous type A person. I like to plan stuff. I like to organize stuff. So during the pandemic, I was like, okay, I'm going to pick up gardening. I'm going to do 2 online courses. I'm going to learn how to cook. I'm going to do this and that. And, I kind of very quickly got overwhelmed. And of course, being in the same place the entire time, not really going out, began to take a toll on my mental health, to the point where I was like, this is not normal. Like, I shouldn't feel this way. And so it took a lot of convincing myself too, but I finally reached out to someone. And so I began therapy. I finished last year, but yeah, so I think for me, I know that that was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made for my mental health. And just beyond that, for in life, one of the best decisions I've made, period, because I've learned so much about myself. But I know that everybody doesn't feel the same way about talking to people, may not be able to have access to the resources required to speak to someone. And I know there is a little stigma if the African continent is anything like the Caribbean. There's definitely a stigma in the Caribbean about speaking to people, speaking about mental health issues. And my advice would be to, just write it down. Start somewhere, just write it down, just write how you're feeling, write how your day was. If you don't know where to start, if you don't know what to write, you could Google search some prompts for journals, and really write down how you feel. So yeah, so fast forwarding to now, actually, I'm a student again, and I'm a student in a completely different side of the world. I'm in Scotland, and I'm actually here during the winter time. It's actually winter right now. And I'm from a country where the sun is always shining, like it's warm. I could go outside at any given time and just be completely fine. Here, it's a different ball game, the sun during the height of winter, rising at 11, setting at 3 o'clock in the evening, waking up in darkness, going to sleep in darkness. It's actually terrible for your mental health. And it has definitely been a struggle. I will be honest and say that sometimes I find it very difficult to get out of bed in the morning. But I think, you really have to make an effort, because ultimately it's about you taking care of yourself. You take care of your physical self, you should take care of your mental and your emotional self as well, because that's very important. So I think you can make the effort. But sorry?
Thank you very
Oh, no
much,
worries.
Aisha.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. It's nice sharing your personal experience with us. I'm very sure we all can relate with it. Being in a new environment comes with a lot of pressures, pressure of belonging, pressure of not doing the wrong thing, pressure of trying to fit in. All these are things that comes with it, and COVID also didn't make
Yeah.
it easier for anybody. I believe we all can relate with what you have said. And I took notes. I don't know if others did. Said one of the things to help you when you're feeling anxious is on board of keeping a journal. Just have something to express yourself, where you can express yourself. And I think it's a very good one. Thank you very much. Please stay back. I believe some people would have questions, but I'd like to hear from Mr. Muyiwa at this moment. Mr. Muyiwa Fashakin, please share with us your thoughts on this topic.
All right, thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much, AJ, for
Mr. Muyiwa.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. And thank you very much, AJ, for that thought. Sorry, I shortened your name, Aisha Joseph, for that thought. I appreciate that, sharing those personal stuff. Now, for mental health, I really feel it's something very, very important that we should take note of as students, really. And anybody, whether students or but it's important because it's just like any part of the health part. I mean, mental health, other parts of your health taken serious. But why I think, and it's my own personal opinion, why I think mental health is critical is because I feel that it takes over you. It can make you, and it can mar you. It can mess you up if you don't take care of it. Now, that mental health itself is no issue. It's just your health. All right. But the issue, sorry, but the issue, the problem there is when it comes up with issues. Just like you can have health issues, your leg, your spinal cord, and all that. But this one is mental. And it makes it very, very critical to your existence and to your, to enjoy the life you have. Very, very important. Now, I have not a personal story, but somebody very close to me, very, very, very close to me. So as we grew up, we didn't really notice that it was a mental health issue. We just felt it was very funny. So sometimes we can be talking and we just shout, we will just laugh. Oh, this guy is so funny. Sometimes people can be talking about A, he will just start with Z and talk about Z and just, so we laugh. Oh, this guy is very funny. It was later as we grew up and it was time to make decisions and, take over your life as it should be. Then the guy started misbehaving and he was doing things that were not right. But we thought it was just a funny guy. So the issue of mental health is to be taken very, very, very seriously because it's so subtle. You don't know how you miss it. You just move from one point, you move to another point, and you are getting it wrong. Because, so mental health, looking at it from three perspectives, the psychological part, the emotional part, and the social well-being. Psychological, emotional, and social well-being. Very important. How you think, how you feel, how you act about things. Very, very important. Because if anything's wrong with the way you think, if anything's wrong with the way you feel, if anything is wrong, of course, with the way you act, then a lot will be wrong with your life. So many students find themselves in this category. I mean, psychologically not balanced, emotionally not balanced, and social well-being is affected. The way they think, it's already affected. The way they think is affected, and their actions gets questionable because all these they are the composition of mental health, and that's why for me, I take it so personal that you must really take it serious. Because if you don't take it serious, it has the capacity to mess up your life. No matter how good you can be academically, you're sound academically, and you're doing well. If you don't take care of your mental health and be sensitive to everything about it, then you can find yourself to be blamed at the end of the day. It's going to really work against you. So psychologically, emotionally, and social being wise, it's important you take note of what is happening to you at that level. The way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, is important that you take note of that at that level. And how you handle stress, very important, and how you relate with others. All right. Some can't not have a smooth relationship with anyone for 10 minutes. There should be something wrong. I mean, you can't just get along with people. And you hear them say, oh, I don't get along with people. There's a problem. That's what I'm saying. It's just little. You don't know you're already getting out of the way. Say, that's my life. I don't get along with people. I just like to be alone. Some just want to be alone. There's a problem. Why do you just want to be alone? I mean, I had a boy when I was in Lagos. I mean, he committed suicide. I mean, he's always on his own. He's always quiet. He doesn't talk to anybody. So when he had that in mind, nobody knew. He just got himself off, and that was the end of his life. So it's important, let me just stop it, but it's important to know that immediately you are getting it wrong with your emotions, you are getting it wrong with the psychological well-being, your social well-being, the way you feel, act, and do your things, the way you make your decisions. You want to be alone, you don't want anybody to talk to you, you don't want to talk to anyone. You are getting it wrong gradually, mentally. Let me put a stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yuwa. I, from what you have said so far, I think I was able to pick some things. Mental health can mar or make you, depending on how you handle it. And your social, your psychology, and your emotional well-being is very important in your mental health. And the interpersonal relationship is also very important. But I would like to everybody. We talk about mental health. What are those factors? What are those things that that you talked about stress level and all those things, but how do you even know? There are times that you are stressed and you don't know you are stressed. So how do you know? If you as a person do not even know, what about the people around you? What are those telltale signs to know that someone is suffering from mental health? That is not so glaring, not at the point of when you start to, misbehave, but just tiny, tiny things that we should see.
Okay, I will allow AJ to go ahead first.
Thank you. Honestly, I think a big part of it is knowing yourself, know what it feels for you to be, at your best, and when you immediately don't feel like that, something is going on. When you don't feel at your best, something is going on. In terms of people around you noticing, I'd say for people around you, the person seems a little bit more irritable, just as Mario was saying, they aren't speaking, they're not sharing what's going on with them. They try to keep to themselves a lot. These are usually like telltale signs that, somebody's going through something. And for a lot of people, they might not want to speak, they might not want to share, but it's important for you as a friend or someone who's concerned to let them know that you're there for them.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Jay. So she said that already, and I want to go with her. But do you know that it's very difficult sometimes, or even most times, for the person that is going through this mental health issue to even discover himself? That's the problem. In fact, most times you don't want to accept that you have mental health issues. You feel somebody is just trying to say you are going gagas, or you are getting mad, and you just want to, how can you say I have mental issue? You know the way they call it in Nigeria. You have you have mental you have mental problem. So when somebody says you have mental problem, you say you can fight with the person. Are you saying I'm mad? Are you saying I'm crazy and all that? So it's difficult to even accept it. That's from what I've seen. It's even difficult to accept it. But people around you that love you will definitely be able to open up and say, maybe you need to see the doctor. And we say psychiatric, maybe psychiatric doctor. They say, no, I can't. Am I mad? Why are you telling me to go and say it? It doesn't have to be mad. I mean, it doesn't have to be that you are getting, but it's important to look out for yourself. That's how I call it. Look out for yourself. When you say you are doing things that are no more normal, I'm not saying doing things creatively and innovatively. I'm saying things that are absorbed, that are things, these things are not what the usual people will do. Maybe you just want to be out of where people are. You want to go to a far place where nobody's and just sit down for 5 hours and you're not doing anything there. That's you start looking out for yourself. Something's wrong. When you see that everybody is annoying you, your mom annoys your dad, annoys your sister, is annoying everybody. Oh, come and eat. It's even to come and eat is annoying. They call you to eat. You are getting annoyed. So I'm annoyed. You watch it. It's time to look out for yourself. So it comes in subtly. I mean, just gradually, and you have crossed the bar. So if you are not very sensitive and looking out for yourself to check some of these symptoms I've mentioned, or should I call it symptoms, some of these things that happen, and you just find yourself doing things that are absurd, things that normally you will not do. Let me give the example I gave was somebody close to me. And it's I can't mention the exact person, but the person is very, very close. We can just be talking. He would just shout. What is the shouting for? But we felt he was a funny guy. So sometimes you might not know yourself, but people around you will suspect that something is wrong somewhere. Why is he always locking? You're always in your room, and you're always locking the door in your room, and you just be alone for 12 hours. Something. So you have to look out for yourself if you love yourself, so that you won't go into these issues. Because immediately you step into these issues, it messes up your life entirely. So you don't want to. So you have to be careful when you're overstressing yourself. You want to relax and be calm. That's one of the solutions I prefer later on. You need to calm down. Sometimes you just you are so much agitated, anxiety all over you, and you want to do everything at once. So you have to, at that time, you think of calming down and just, relaxing. Some people say take a chill pill, so just cool down. That's why that guy said you have to be calming down. You have to be because if you don't, you will get yourself into that trouble of mental health issues, which has causes. I've listed the causes here, but I don't know if I can share my screen later on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muiwa.
Just Folukemi, if I could add to what Muye was saying as well. You know, in terms of, you know, thinking and considering. Sorry, could you hear me? Oh. Yeah, it just to add to what he was saying, you know, really thinking about what's really going on with you and calming down. You know, one of the most helpful things that I've been told as well is to actually sit in your emotions and think about what you're feeling. You know, if you're angry, sit and ask yourself, okay, what is this I'm feeling? Why do I feel so angry? Really get to the root and be honest with yourself. You know, I'm feeling angry because in actuality, I feel very sad about this and I don't know how to, you know, how to portray that. And I end up showing it in anger. And, you know, that's not really what you're feeling. So if I'm just to add, you know, just sit in your emotions.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Aisha Joseph and Mr. Muiwa. It's been a fantastic session. I'm very sure it's that for the whole day. Issue. Students is also amongst you see a lot of suicide. We have the question and answer. I don't know anybody. If you have questions to ask, kindly indicate by raising up your hand, please. You see where you can raise up your hand, please. Let's see you. Can you indicate by raising up your hand? Mute Adiola, let's.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Adiola has. Yes, Adiola, please.
Good
yes,
afternoon. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. Yes, we can. Good afternoon, Adiola. Please, you have just less than 30 seconds. Thank you.
All right. When Aisha was speaking, she mentioned about avoiding sleeping in darkness or probably waking up in darkness. If she can actually shed a little more light on that, I would like to know. And when Mr. Fashaki was also speaking, I grabbed some things, but I wanted to ask, can too much reading cause mental issue? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Would you like to answer the question or you want us to take more questions first, Mr.?
It's up to you. What works best for you is fine.
I think we should just take it now so that we can just answer.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, AJ. You can take that. I'll take mine.
Okay. Okay. Waking up in darkness. Oh yes. So I was actually talking about living here in Scotland during the winter. You know, the sun sets extremely early, so it sets at 3 p.m. So some days I would wake up. I say I have like a 9 o'clock class. I would wake up in the morning and open the curtain, and it would still be dark outside. And I would go to school, and I would come back home after my 4 o'clock class, and it would be dark outside. And so, you know, I don't know if you've heard this before, but the sunshine, you know, vitamin D that you get from the sun is very important, especially for your mental health in terms of dopamine. I'm not a scientist, but, you know, you get dopamine hits from being in the sunshine. And that's why people say, you know, going outside is very important. So that's what I meant when I was talking about going to sleep in darkness and waking up in darkness.
Okay. All right. I think I can go ahead now. So it's reading too much. Reading too much, can it get you to mental health issues? Yes and no. I used to be a university professor, and I lectured for 7 years in university economics. And I was a student, of course. Before I can be a lecturer, I should be a student. And I said yes and no because you cannot read too much, really, in the context of reading too much. So I might not know what you mean by reading too much, but you have to read until you understand. I have a friend that can read for one time and he understands. I have to read for about 10 times before I understand. So you can't call that my own reading too much, because if you have not understood what you've been taught, then you have not read. You've not studied. So reading too much could be relative. I mean, it's not an absolute term. But when you talk about reading too much in the context of just at every point of your life, you just want to read and read and read. Now, there's a thin line you can cross, and you can now enter the level of the mental health issues. Like my friend, when I was doing my master's in UI, he's always coming with to the reading room with books, and he's always reading. But at the time we saw that it was just more than reading. When it comes to the hall, he creates some kind of scenes like that. He would just come, he would spread something like table mat. He puts the books, he offloads the books. He would just do some strange. We started noticing that this is beyond reading. So sometimes you can cross the line and start doing some stuff that, but normal reading, studying hard, it cannot lead you, but you have to understand your body. Very important, you understand your body, so that you will not stress your body and you get into trouble. All right, so you will not get into trouble. So it's important you know when to stop and sleep, then wake up and read again. Very important. You must just balance the time. The timing is important, because you can even read too much and fail. It depends on what you are asking. Student coming to me when I was lecturing, sir, I read throughout the night for your course, but I failed. I said, reading throughout the night doesn't make you pass my course. What were you reading? If you are not reading what I was going to say, you can fail, because I was not there when you were reading. So I don't know if you will fail or pass. So my own is I set questions. So there are ways to read, and you don't need to overread. I don't think you can overread when you read the right things. You know when to go and sleep. I mean, she's a student, AJ is a student. I don't know if she just reads from beginning to the end 24 hours. No. What are you reading? There are things to read. Even your professors don't read overnight like that. I read 24 hours.
Thank you, Mr. Muyiwa. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Too much of everything is bad. We all know that. Too much of everything is bad. The moment you notice that you're tired, just sleep, wake up, and continue reading. Thank you very much. Okay, we only have 3 more people to ask questions. After those 3, we are closing the session. So Samson, please unmute Samson, let him ask his question. Please, you have less than 30 seconds. Mr. Wanda.
Okay, good afternoon. I really appreciate the moderators and the speakers so far.
We are going to have a time, yes. So Samson.
Okay, I really appreciate the moderators and the speakers so far. My question is before we could even talk about the psychological, the emotional, and the social aspects, please, what other aspects can also affect the child, like the mental health of the child? And aside that, I want us to still shed more light on the parental aspect. Like, in what way does the parental aspect actually influence the mental health of the child? So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Samson. Safura Idris. Let's hear your question, please.
Okay. Good afternoon. So, everyone has been talking about mental health issues and things like that. But I wanted to ask, because like during the stage of puberty and adolescence, you notice that kids have change in their behaviors and all that kind of stuff. So would you say that they have mental health issues, or it's just a phase, or do you think they have to go and seek help?
I don't know your name, Techno Pouvoir. Your name, please. The Techno Pouvoir, I don't know. Techno Pouvoir, whoever is, you don't have your name there. Let's hear your question, please.
I think you're muted.
Kindly unmute. Kindly unmute Techno Puba 3 Air. Okay,
Yes,
please, let's hear you. Let's hear your question. Please tell us your name.
My name is Johanna Daniel.
Your name is what?
Johanna Daniel.
Okay, Johanna Daniel. Okay, please go on. You have just less than 30 seconds, please.
I to something as a teacher. Normally, targeting these children, some of them, they have mental challenge, they have issues, emotional problems, and looking at the nature of the teachers, especially in my country, Nigeria in particular. So what I'm saying here is that the professionals, people that can detect when you have the problem, they cannot know what this is a problem, you have to know how to deal with them. So now, in regard to this issue, what can we do, or what is the way out to solve these problems? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. So, Mr. Muiwa and Miss Aisha, I think we can answer the questions now. Mr. Muiwa, please.
Yeah, let me just, the slides, I have slides that could answer that.
The role.
Yeah. Yeah, so what somebody asked about what, I mean, the courses, other courses.
All of the parents are the second person.
Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead?
Talked about physiology and affect. Could we call it mental health? And they need to see a doctor, or it's just a phase that they are going to overcome on their own. Then the third one is talking about how to handle children that have these issues, and now as teachers who can address all these issues while teaching the students. So,
all right, I was thinking of going ahead. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
All right, so if you see my screen, I've listed some of the causes the other guy was asking about. Social disadvantage and poverty can affect that. Childhood abuse, trauma, and or neglect, discrimination and stigma, bereavement, having a long-term physical condition, loneliness and isolation, substance abuse, friends and bad companies, and all these can put together can be emotional, psychological, social influence, which can lead to issues as regards mental health. Then how do you solve it? The guy asks about solution. You can advise, you could go for a training on mental health. I mean, there are we have a lot of trainings on that, but this helps, to provide solution, build good and healthy relationship, be conscious and driven by desire for healthy physical lifestyle, do activities that you enjoy, stay away from bad company, stay away from harmful substances, be mindful about the positive side of life, seek professional help when you need one, find time to rest and relax. The person talking about adolescent or this puberty issue, I mean, it's normal. It's normal. That's not mental health. It's everybody had gone through that stage. So it's a normal thing. Yeah, AJ, you can share your space.
I don't actually have much to add. Just echoing what you would say. To be honest, you had some good points, and on the point of puberty, I think that's pretty normal.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. And what was the other question? I wasn't able to catch the last question.
Okay, talking about teaching, when you teach people to have these mental health issues, how do you help them? How do you handle it?
When you're teaching? Oh.
Yeah, when you're a teacher.
As teachers.
Oh, okay.
As teachers,
oh, okay.
Is there supposed to be a form of training for them so that you can be able to help children with mental health issues? There are times in school, when you're in school, you'll see some children, they are very, they don't mix up. They're always, they're recluse. They stay very quiet in a corner. You can see those signs. So as teachers, is there a way that they can go for training or professional help those kind of children in schools?
That would be excellent, honestly. I don't really have much to say on that point. I'm sure Muyiwa might have something to say to add to it.
Yeah. I'd mentioned that already, that there are trainings regarding that, and they can seek for those training. Lastly, on my point here, I'm sure that can answer other questions on this issue. Now, I've said here, let's make this a life. When we do this as a lifestyle, it's going to help us. Now, if you're going to avoid mental health issues, or you are going to get out of it completely, number one, there are choices to make. One, choose life. Always choose life.
Thank you.
Yeah. Choose sound mind, choose positivity, choose hope, choose health, and choose God. Thank you.
Thank you for your last line. Miss Joseph, your last line, please.
I'd say eat properly, sleep properly, exercise, pray, put down your phone at night, don't take it up first thing in the morning, and lean into the things that bring you sunshine, that make you happy. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Aisha Joseph. Thank you, Mr. Muyiwa, for this session. We are very grateful. I'm very sure we have all learned a lot. We have been informed, and the takeaway from here is quite extensive. We all understand that the first time yourself. If you understand yourself, you know when there's a change in your system, you know when there's a change in your environment, in your mood, and that's where you can seek for help on time so that you do not break down finally. They're moving now to the next session, but before then, I have good news for everybody. I hope you are ready for my good news. We have something for you to win. And what do you have to do for us? For you to win our grand prize, post a picture of yourself with the event banner. There's going to be a link there's going to be a link put into the chat room for you to get your DP inside. You post it on your page or your social media page, any of the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Post it and saying that you are there. The people with the most engagement, a voucher from us tomorrow. So let's see, let's sing. Please don't forget, post yourself with our Get DP, saying that you are here, you attended the conference, and let's see how you can engage your viewer, your people, or your page to be selected across all platforms. So for each platform, there's a winner for you. So stay tuned, do not leave, because it's going to be very interesting. And don't forget, as you're posting on the page, kindly tag Jed Child Trust on all the platforms that you're posting on Twitter, on Facebook, and on. Thank you. So moving on to the second session, we're going to be talking about finance, fast-tracking financial inflows for educational support to African children. We all know that there are a lot of children out of schools. We have children who are very intelligent but did not have the means to further their education. They want money and everything. So we are going to be discussing things like this. How do you help yourself? Even as students in the university, how do you help yourself so you do not drop out from school? And all this, we'll be discussing this with us, Jide Abola and Clyde Akosa. Mr. Jide Agbola and Clyde Akosa. Mr. Jide Agbola is an African human capital development and business transformation strategist based in Dubai. He's a result-driven person. He has engaged organizations and individuals in unleashing their to turn their dreams in Bola today, as we discuss finance. Also with us is Clyde Akosa. Clyde Akosa will be here with us. Clyde Akosa is going to be discussing alongside with Mr. Dibla on finance this afternoon. Let's welcome Mr. Jide Agbola and Mr. Clyde Akosa.
Hello, good evening. May I ask who will be the first speaker? By the way, I'm really sorry because my camera is not working. Can I do this without my camera?
We'll put in your picture. We'll put in your picture.
Thank you so
Put in your
much.
picture so they can see you.
Yes, Dr. Alex will share my slide because
Okay.
I experienced now internet difficulties. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, so by the way, my name is Clyde Arcosa and I'm a social entrepreneur. I have a social enterprise here in the Philippines where I'm incubating some youth like out of school youth, in school youth, and young professional to be a CEO or to be an executive. So, by the way, our topic is about the fast tracking financial inflows. By the way, as a social entrepreneur, our goal is to establish a business that solving social problems. And one of our mission is to solve social problems, particular with problems with the youth. So, next slide, please. So, since our topic is about financial fast tracking financial inflows, or let's say the income, how to sustain the advocacy, the education for the children. So let's talk about first what is income. Today, income is used as a noun, but the Old English word income was first a verb that means to come in and referred to the money earned through one's labor or business dealings. So from the word income, it says that it's a money earned through one's labor or business dealings. So let's define what business dealing is. Next slide, please. Because to be able to sustain an advocacy or a business, we must have a source of income, a cash flow. So to be able to do that, we have to learn how to deal with business. As a social entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur per se, what how we could sustain our advocacy or our business. First, we have to learn how to deal business, how to negotiate, how to create income, and that skills are very valuable to a person who have an advocacy. So now, how to do business? Next slide, please. This one. Learn what is problem or learn the problem. Many people here in the Philippines, most of the business nowadays are starting with making on their product, and making their own product, providing services. But the problem is they don't know why they are creating product, why they are doing services. To be able to create an income, we must have or we must learn what the problem is. So here, there, in Africa, you must learn what is the problem of your society or on your community. Then after that, learn how to solve it. Because when you know the solution of the problem, you can turn it into an income because you have a solution. Remember this: a doctor doesn't want to create. I didn't. They didn't create a medicine because they just only solving a sick an illness. What they are doing is they create medicine because they saw an illness, not not just an opposite of like creating solution first before the problem. What my point is, learn what is problem first, then make a solution. That is one that I could advise, and what I'm doing here in the Philippines. We are studying different problems on the society, and we're creating solution, and that solutions we earn profit from it. Next slide, please. So after you discover the problem, you the next one you have to learn is acquire a high value skills. Remember this, there's a lot of skills we can acquire, but the problem is it relevant? Is it a value skills? That is the question. And as an entrepreneur, we acquire set of skills. We need to learn about negotiation, accounting, and sort of skills that we could operate the business. Next slide, please. And this one, available resources. Here, here in the Philippines and to my organization, we always check what is our available resources, what is within our ability. For example, in our organizations, we have a lot of manpower that know how to sing, how to dance, how to create contents, how to make videos, and from that available resources, we make a source of income from it, like providing services to other companies that might experience problem with their advertising, market research, and the things that they could promote their business. So that problem of the company, we are solving it using our available resources. So if you have an advocacy or you have an organization and you have available manpower, you should know what is your available resources, your skills of your youth, the talents, and the access of networks. Such all. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the framework or the diagram which I'm using, the asset mapping or the asset-based community development. This is the example of how the community could survive or could continue their sustainable or their advocacy. So first, as I said, you have to learn the available resources of your community, your organization, the gifts of individuals, then the citizen association to the local institution. So basically, you have to learn what is the available resources. So within my organization, as I said, we know how to create content. We know how to edit. We have talent like dancing, like singing, do research. So that available resources, we sell. We offer them to the company that are looking for or searching for this that the things that they could increase their value when it comes to business dealing. So basically, as I said, use the available resources, and this is the diagram that I'm using, the asset-based community development. Next slide, please. This one. So when you already know the available sources from your community, your organization, then you already identify the problem of the company. The next one you have to do is acquire the skills that relevant to that company or relevant to your country, because there's a lot of skills that is irrelevant. For example, I have a client that wanted to put up a technology company, but the problem is his idea is already outdated. In short, irrelevant. So when you are acquiring skills, you must learn what is the relevant, what valuable skills that are might needed on this present days or in these days. So you have to acquire skills, set of skills. And then the next one is hones the talents, because there's a lot of talents that not really can monetize. However, if you know what is entrepreneurship and you know how to monetize it, then you could profit from it. Example like Kanye West, um, he's a rapper. However, he's not really not he is not just a rapper or an artist. He is a business person. He uses his talents to sell it, to advertise his company, his record label, his merchandise, such things. So what my point is, if we could utilize the skills and the talents, we can monetize it. We can create an income. And that is what that I did here in the Philippines in my organization. Next slide, please. Okay. So this is the youth that I'm under my incubation. They are tech companies right now. They're already doing business deal with the biggest tech company here in the Philippines at the age of 19 years old, and the one is just only 17 years old. So we do some monthly consultation on how they could upgrade their business, their skills, and such. Next slide, please. This one, a group of researchers. So as I said, we are not creating product. We are providing service because we believe that research data is very important in nowadays. So we do sell research like contents, like copyrights, and that's one we could. That is the bread and butter of our organization. Next slide, please. This one, event organizing. Event organizing is one of important for the company, for the organization wanted to earn such uh, like a big amount of money or to sustain your advocacy, because one of the things that the company or anyone, the private or the government, looking for those
Mr.
person
Kosa, you have
capable
1 minute,
to
please.
organize. Okay. Next slide, please. Then this is the last one, content creator. My suggestion is if you want to make if you want to sustain your advocacy, the relevant nowadays is like if you can do content creator, if you can do research data, you can do social media like posting, caption, you can sell it. And the question is how you could sustain that services to the company. Must have learned how what is business model you need to do or you need to use to your business or to your to your organization. You must learn how to make a design a business model. Next slide, please. Yeah, that's one. The business model. Next slide, please. This one. The last here in our organization we use the subscription model where using our research, our content, publication materials, posters, we sell it to the some companies like providing contents, poster, and that is how we could sustain our advocacy. So maybe it could you maybe you can use this idea to your advocacy, because I believe that there's a lot of young people there that very creative, very artistic. So maybe you could utilize their talents and acquire more skills that relevant on these days. And that is, I think, the last one. The last slide, please. Yeah, this one. So you can follow us on our Facebook page, like Creative Entrepreneurs Organization, and we are happy to help you guys if you have a concern regarding how to establish a social enterprise. And that's all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Acosta. Thank you, Mr. Acosta, for um, your discussion. Mr. Jide, let's hear you. Let's hear what you have to say. He has said a lot about social entrepreneurship. He has told us as young people how social entrepreneur can help us. It's also a way of saving us from mental health too. It's also good for our mental health to have a social entrepreneurial plan or projects that you have a plan. He has told us the sources, how to get our sources, how to work around it, and several other things. So let's hear Mr. Jide Agbola talk to us about
Hello, everyone.
Welcome,
thank you. My name is Jide Agbola. Hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, good. First of all, I want to thank you thank the organizer of this program for having me here. And it's I didn't take it for granted. To talk about today is something that I've loved to, because this is in line with what I love to do every day. Engaging the young minds, finances based on my life experiences, what I've passed through. Now, the fast-tracking financial inflows for educational support. Sorry, my slide is not available, but I will do justice to this topic as quickly as I can without wasting your time. First of all, we're talking about finance and we're talking about education. But I will do a little bit of digression on this particular thing, subject matter. To finance education, first of all, we need to ask ourselves, the one they have been doing before, what has been the result? You know what I'm saying? The education has been around since ages, and people have been funding the education, talk of public finance, federal, state, and federal government through taxes, fees, and services, through private organizations like NGO and foreign fundings. Now, the point is, what happened in the last few years may not be the same model now. What I see in education funding is quite different from what has been operating before now. Now, ask me how. Let's take, for example, a tree. You can't look away from a tree what is going to grow a tree. What is going to grow a tree is within the tree. I will say this. For educational system, most especially, I use my region as a case study. This is Africa. We have never or not been given priority to intangible. Intangible, I mean knowledge. And that's why our educational system is as the way it is today. If there's a focus on knowledge, I'm sure our education system will have been the best in the whole world. Now, this is what I want to say today for the purpose of this gathering. I see education system of Africa as the way where we just run a process that is not vented. We have never looked at the curriculum if it's fitting to today's reality. And we just keep funding, we keep doing something over and over again. What happened in the last few years is not the same reality today. In education in Africa, we need to look, first of all, into how to check the curriculum. That is why you produce somebody in a educational system that cannot fit in business world. Now, if you talk about funding, first of all, we need to look at this, or else we'll keep funding, we'll keep get the same result. The child you produce from those systems cannot meet up outside the world, or in the business world, in medical world, in all space of life, because we have not given the priority to intangible, which is knowledge. Now, I would prefer solution, despite the fact that I'm saying all this, but I have things I felt the organization or whoever is in charge of education could adopt as a model, which is in vogue, which it will help the system. We don't even at times need to look away from money outside, because what grows a tree is always within the tree. It's within. So the little you are getting from outside is just to support. Already there is a system that prosper a process. Okay, now I said, first of all, that we are not giving priority to education. What do I mean? We just run a system that is just, let me just say, is shabby halfway, because lack of infrastructure, lack of manpower, lack of knowledge from those that are disseminating information to the children. And I'm talking from the elementary stage. Now, this is what I feel it should be. When we grow a system, we give all it takes to a child in the system. A child comes back to the system to pay back to the system. That is a new trending in education now. If you are looking for funding outside the system, well, you could, you can, you will. But the primary thing for you to know you are doing something, or that is the original aim of establishing education, is when you grow the system and the system comes back to pay back to the system. A tree, a seed is being planted, and it comes up with fruit. A fruit is coming back to be replanted and to make a system ongoing and going and going. I don't want to waste much of your time, but I've been seeing some of those things happening in Africa, in some part of Africa, most especially Nigeria, whereby somebody who was raised in a system, educational system, who is well-to-do, comes back. One, he's not giving money first, he's giving value. He's teaching the incoming one by adding value. That is intangible knowledge, giving them the way things ought to be done. What we teach in school is far different from what we experience outside the school. So in funding education, it's something that we need to look within before we look outside. Am I communicating at home?
Hello,
are we there?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, we can hear you.
we are listening to you.
Great. Now, in one particular school in Africa, in Nigeria, most especially, I saw a man who was being taught in a school, and he came back to teach the young ones the value, what it takes to face the challenges outside the school, because he knew. Not only that, I've also seen one also who came back, who built an hostel in the school. This is secondary school, get me right. Now, when we are looking for funding for education in Africa, what are we looking at what are things we are looking for to use the money for? We are looking for infrastructure. We are looking for money for getting equipment. We are looking to pay for staffs, teachers. This thing could be achieved if we create a right value onto somebody who is in the system. Now, we should not look away from the fact that there's need for them to change the curriculum of the system. That is what I'm going to talk about, because that's what creates a system, or create somebody who can come back to the system and give back to the system. So if you are looking away from funding from outside, we could get it. As I said, don't get me wrong. But what I want to particular about is, let's look at a tree cycle, whereby everything a tree needs is within the tree. You don't look away from that. So a tree grows around circle because it's well nurtured, and it comes back to produce a fruit. So it has been always public finance, maybe governments, taxes, fee services, private organization, foreign funding. But I want us to look away for the purpose of this gathering, that what educational funding needs is within the educational system itself. And that is what I want to leave with us today. We need to look within the system by bringing forth or adding value to those that we are looking for funding for, the system we are looking money for. We should look in them and we should give them the right value by teaching, by looking at those that have gone ahead, coming back to give back to the system that has made them, and to give the right value. I'm so surprised at times when I see some schools, I look at them, I look at the structure, I look at everything so dilapidated, and I look at what's all about this. This is education. What will this kind of system produce? So that is my submission when we have to look at funding for educational system, because I believe whatever the system needs, it's always within the system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bola, for your words of wisdom. It is good that charity begins at home. If you are being trained by a system, then you should be able to return back to the system, which is a very good notion. It's a right call. It's a right call to that we also can as well. Do we have questions for Mr. Agbola and Mr. Akosa? Just like we said, we are only taking 4 questions. So kindly signify, just like we did the last time. Let's see your answer. Questions, please. While we are waiting for questions to come in. Mr. Akosa, I would like to find out from what you were saying concerning social entrepreneurship, as a young person who doesn't have anything at all, nothing. What you have is just yourself and your idea. How feasible is it really for you to have access to funds for those ideas that you have? I'm a young person. I'm very passionate about something, but I do not have the capital to get it done. I can talk to 1 or 2 of my friends, but that is where it is. Can I actually access funding for that?
Pardon, please. Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay. I said, as a young person, who is passionate about a particular social issue and doesn't have anybody to, maybe like a guarantor or something, nothing like that. It's just you. Can you get access to funding to execute that idea that you have, the social issue that you want to address? Hello? Hello? Okay. Wow, Mr.
Hello,
Akosha.
hello.
Okay. Did you hear my question?
Not sorry, not. Can you please one more time? Can you repeat the question, please? I
Okay.
just experienced an internet difficulties here right now. Thank you so much.
Okay. I said, as a young person who is passionate about social change, and but unfortunately you do not have a guarantor, there's no mentee, there's no mentor, nothing, it's just yourself. How do you go about funding?
Okay, thanks so much. So basically, before I start, I'm starting with this concept, this campaign, this advocacy. I'm starting as a business person. I'm starting with doing business. However, while I'm doing some business, I felt that my purpose in life is I'm not feeling fulfillment. That's why I'm choose a path where I could sense my fulfillment in life, like serving my duty in this world. Um, that's why I take the path of social entrepreneurship because I already go in the business world. However, I'm not satisfied on just doing business. So basically, I'm doing, I sustain my advocacy because I am a business person. I have the skills. As I said, we must have acquire a set of skills, have a high value skills that can turn into an income stream or to create a cash flow, to create an income, because you have a set of skills. So that is one of my ways on how I could sustain my advocacy. That's all, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akosa. Okay, Mr. Agbola, you were talking to us about financing and education funding in Nigeria and in
please.
Africa generally as a whole.
Yes.
We
Yes,
understand that, yes, true. As you train, then you're supposed to come back. We have what we call, I don't know about other countries, but in Nigeria, for example, we have what we call the Old School Association. That's Old Student Association. Some of them actually come back to help the schools. They actually come to help out the school. But would you say that's enough funding for schools? Is it enough? That funding from the Old Student Association, would you call that enough funding for the schools? Are you really saying that we should rely only on the Old Student Association? There's no need for us to go out there and get more funding and be able to reach out to more children. What are those schools that those children that are not even in any school at all? As in, they are not in a school, but they need to go to school and they don't have what it takes. They don't have books, they don't have bags, they don't have anything, but they want to learn.
Okay, thank you very much. Don't get me wrong. I'm only just talking about the side of paying back to school. That does not mean we should not look away from funding from whoever I want to give, maybe foreign funding, the government or whatever. But what I'm trying to talk about, the basic things that will have make a system run effectively. Now, let me say this. Number one, if you look at those old school associations, most of the time, some of them are just maybe probably, sorry to say this, for a social gathering, to be honest with you. Most important thing is not well discussed. Now, I feel ideally, the association should have been to help the system in which that produced them. Now, let me say this. What you see in those people that are doing association, most of the time it's not something to roam about with because the system is not well operated. I know what I'm saying because I passed through the same system and I know all my years in school that we are not getting the right value to have makeups to what some of us have just learned how to make sure we want to be successful in the society. Now, for a child in the society who is not going to school, who is not having the privilege, who is less privileged, who doesn't have money, who doesn't have anybody, well, because our system does not place value on people, nobody is ready to help anybody. That is the truth. So you take your destiny in your hand. And that's why most of the time we see people beside you and you're wondering what kind of a friend, a family, because the environment is so harsh. Now, I wouldn't say that such a child should be deprived going to school. And that is why sometimes we rely on governments, whereby the campaign, they say free education. This one should give room for those who are not willing. I've not enjoyed any free education in my life, and I've not gone to a free school. But I'm one of those, because the system is not making me well, I make sure I determine I want to be well, and I will give back to the system. So for such people, to be honest to you, there's nothing you can do than to tell them, hey, the system is not having anything for you, but you need to take destiny by yourself. And there's no limit or to age at which you can do go back to education. So we are in a harsh system whereby the system is not giving room for, it doesn't care about you, and except maybe probably God sent some an angel to you. So it's a pity for such people. We need to have a mindset that, hey, come what may, if the system is not, if the government is not doing this for me, I don't have a father, I don't have a mother who could help me, I need to help myself, not in a negative way. Not in a negative way. There's a lot of things you can do for yourself, for you to access the education. I wasn't privileged to have a school right when I was coming up. I did when I was in primary school. I had to walk in the morning. In secondary school, I had to walk and go back to school. Those times when they do morning class and evening class. When I had to go to school, I did part-time courses. And I did not deprive myself. But for the fact that you don't have privileged things around you to have moved into educational system, does not mean you cannot help yourself. That is the truth. So I will urge government, I will urge people, I will urge individual. Let's give room for those who are less privileged around us. Let's help. Your word, your little things you give can help somebody to access that education, because education is progressive. If you give somebody education, it can become the next Bill Gates tomorrow. Just a little privilege that he needs, a little push. And that is the truth. I'm talking from a life experience. So for the fact that you don't have a privilege, somebody has not sent you to school, does not mean you cannot be whatever you want to be. It's just a mindset. It's just you and you to have determined. Some of us have parents, but they cannot help us. So we need to go all out to make sure things is happening. As my friend in Philippines was saying, there are skills you could get. And for you to access education when you are making money, and it does not matter anytime you go back to school. Age does not matter anytime you go back to school. So let's help ourselves. Let's create an environment that help those are in need. Everybody needs education. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gola. Well said. It is really a mindset thing. If we have a mindset that we need to give back to the society, and we have the mindset that we need to reach out to people that are less privileged, then everything will definitely be well. It's quite an informative session and an enlightening one. I'm very sure we all have gotten one or two things from here. That is one of the reasons why Jed Child Trust is here. We are very passionate about reaching out to the less privileged. We are very passionate about education, especially for the African child. We are very passionate on ensuring that that child on the street, that child that is willing to learn, has the opportunity to learn. And we are out there to also reach out to a lot of, we've been doing a lot of things in Jed Child Trust. And that's why we are having this conference as well, to be able to talk about these challenges that we have as regards education and the African child. Thank you very much, Mr. Akosa. Thank you very much, Mr. Jide Agbola. This is where we draw the curtain for the second session. I'm very sure we've had quite, we are half full. Yes, let's put it that way. We are half full because we still have one more session to go. But before then, I would like us to take a break, a 5 minutes break. Let's stretch our legs. Let's drink some water. Let's grab some snack. Then we'll be back for the third session. Don't forget, I have my trivia question waiting for you at the end of this, at the end of the conference today. I have my trivia question, and don't forget as well the task that you have at hand. I've posted it inside the chat room. Please go to the chat room and you see the task there for you to win a voucher. You're going to be getting a 5,000 naira worth of voucher to buy whatever it is that you want. So please, let's take a break. And this is 1:45. By 1:55, we should be back. Yeah, by 1:55, let's take a 10 minutes break and we'll be right back. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Leocadia from Kenya. I'm a FEMLEX Cohort Ambassador 2022. FEMLEX Cohort was about exposing young legal minds to the opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities out here by mentoring through people who are already practicing and showing us the niches in the legal practice that are not yet flooded. We also learned how to come up with a business idea from your skill, passion, and how to come up with a good business model, how to have a proper position statement, how to manage finances, how to market yourself. Yeah. What opportunities was I exposed to? The mentors that were brought on board on the mentorship Mondays were really instrumental. I learned a lot. I saw how broad the legal profession is, and it gave me hope to start my own law firm that will also be doing consultancy. Yes, I networked because most of the students were from all over the world. At least I know people out of our country, and if I ever want my business to go international, at least I have contact people who would advise me on the regulations in the country and all. My overall experience with the cohort was awesome. At least it gave me a purpose, because every Wednesday and during the Mentor Mondays, I used to look forward to the classes. Yeah, and for young girls who are seeking a career path in legal enterprise, I would advise them to look for opportunities out here, like the FEMLEX cohorts, and any other opportunity that can help them grow their career and not just focus on what's taught in class, because clearly law is wider than that. I want to shout out to the Jed Trust Foundation and the Ellen Bradshaw Foundation for this opportunity. I'm really glad I was selected. And the next time we have it, I'll advise most of my friends in the legal field to go for it, because I've really learned a lot, and I can't wait for me to put everything that I've learned into practice. So thank you so much, Jed Trust Foundation and the Ali Bradshaw Foundation.
We were told that all we needed is work hard to achieve these dreams. As we counted days, days turned to weeks, weeks turned to months, and months turned to years. It was evident, we are getting old. However, all our dreams are far-fetched from reality. Why? We have worked so hard, but the society seems not aiding the effort.
As it stands now, the country is somehow too tight, and not everybody are able to grab from the countries and piece of cake.
Most of us African children, who grew up in the rural thorn suburbs of Africa, can identify many of our mates who were exceptionally intelligent, but hindered by finance, who wanted a better means of education. But the hands of poverty could not let them achieve the dreams. Many enthusiasts who were eager to learn, but no classrooms to learn. know enough qualified teachers to teach. Most children in the rural area either has poor access to education, poor number of qualified teachers, poor infrastructure. In fact, most children in the rural areas are limited from education. Consequently, Jed Child Trust, first priority is to extend education to the rural areas. And these we achieve through campaigns, outreaches, and sponsorship of students. We also campaigns against child slavery, child labor, dehumanization, abuse and mutilation. Our dream is to be the haven of African children. By giving them access to education in line with their interest and motivation, and protecting them against abuse, slavery and labor.
Good day, my name is Dorcas Oketoyi and I'm one of the FLC ambassador for this year, and I'm going to be answering few questions. So the first question says that what is the FEMELEX cohort about? The FEMELEX cohort is an online mentorship program which is available for young girls, mostly black young girls who are passionate about contributing their quota to the legal enterprise. So this platform offers them the opportunity of fulfilling their passion. So to the next question, we say that what are the things and the opportunities we were exposed to during the program? During the program, I was exposed to different opportunities, and one of which was that I was able to meet with the UNDP. I was able to meet with lawyers who are already in the path of the legal professions, like Miss Rosiana John, Miss Alessi Majorin, and so many others. And also I was able to learn about business, about setting the smart goals, fulfilling your vision, and how to go about it. So the third question says that were you able to network? Yes, I was able to network. I was able to meet young girls from different countries who have different background, and I was able to learn from their experiences, and I can relate to what they have. I can relate to their experience. So to the fourth question, it says that how was your overall experience at the cohort? During the weeks I spent at the cohort program, I was able to be in the midst of like-minded person. I was able to learn about on creating your own path. It's not necessary for you to tread on the path that other people have treaded on. I was able to learn a lot. I was able to learn different lessons from this cohort program, because this program is actually the first program that we attend that will give me an access to relating with girls from different backgrounds. So my experience was a wonderful one at the cohort. Then to the fifth question, it says that what advice do you have for young girls who are also seeking a career path in the legal enterprise? My advice for you is that you should discover yourself, discover your strength, your weakness, and don't limit yourself.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm very sure we are back. I'm very sure we are back. If you are back, just give me an high five. Let me see you. If you're back, let's see you wave your hand in the chat room. Only 2 people are back. No, let's see. Let's hold on, let's give them like 1 minute to get them back. Yes. Welcome back.
Are you a teacher,
welcome back,
school owner, an education enthusiast? Are you passionate about the education system in Africa? The JED Conference 2023 is a must for you to attend. Theme: Sustainable Framework of Education for African Children. Date: 26th to 27th of January 2023. Time: 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Guest speakers: Gabriel Gay, Muyiwa Clyde Akosa,
Hello.
Jide Agbola,
I'm
Aisha
calling
Joseph,
in Mr. Arome Machako towards about the outreach arm of the Jed Child Trust Foundation. Please let's welcome him. Thank you. Mr. Arome, the floor is open to you.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Please confirm if you can hear me.
We can
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me? All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here. This is my first national conference with Jed, and I'm so excited to hear from all our speakers so far. I remember the last quote I picked is, "Whatever the system wants is always in the system," and that is by Mr. Agbola, and that is something that really stood out for me in the last session. All the session has been a mind-blowing one, and I believe that all our participants, our volunteers, our guests here are gaining one or two things from here. All right, so I'll be quick. I want to quickly give an overview of the activities at the outreach unit of Jed Child Trust Foundation. And as we all know, the outreach team is the most important. All the teams are important, but this is where we get direct access to the children that we serve. And yes, that is something that I really appreciate that I'm here to manage. And I really appreciate all of our volunteers for their time, for their commitment, and for ensuring that they join this fight of bringing quality education to children in underserved communities. So I say that the wonderful decision to improve access to quality education for Nigerian children is one that the board members of the organization say thank you for everything that you're doing so far. All right. So permit me to start from where Mr. Joseph stopped. So Mr. Joseph has already given an overview of the impact that has been made so far in the organization. And this year alone, in January, we have moved from 1 state to 9 different states right now. So that is something that I think should call for a big applause. So we moved to nine different states. And currently we have active 54 volunteers in these 9 states. Already we have over 100 volunteers who are willing to start, but then we have to start and then scale as we move along. So currently we have volunteer 54, and this January will reach about 3,000 learners in 8 different schools in Nasarawa, yes, and then we also be moving into other states. We also All right, so I'd like to quickly continue. So we intend to, for 2023, our plan as the outreach unit is that we intend to reach at least 200,000 students through our school-based campaign for education, importance of education, mental health awareness, and also ensuring that we get to pick and select children who need support to be provided, and also grant scholarship to children who are currently out of school. And of course, the journey is not going to be an easy one, just like every meaningful endeavor. We hope that we'll get the necessary support to achieve all of our objectives. We shall be commencing a fundraising effort very soon, and we cannot overemphasize the importance of your support, either through donations, through referrals. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, please let me quickly round up. So I do this.
You have just 1 minute to go.
All right. So through that, and as we continue the dialogue about the sustainable framework of education for African child, do know that there are currently over 20 million Nigerian school-age children who are currently out of school. And also the literacy level in public primary school remain abysmally low. Currently it stands below 60%, according to UNICEF survey. And also our teachers, millions of them requires 21st century pedagogy training to provide an education that is inclusive for all children. While these realities are a great source of concern, we however remain optimistic that they are not insurmountable. And at the outreach unit at Jed Child Trust Foundation, we believe that with the right partnership, with the right support, with the general public key into the vision of the organization, we are going to achieve our aim. So as we come up with the fundraising plan in a couple of days from now, we want to plead with every one of you to support, to share. If you cannot donate, you can share. If you can donate, whatever it is, you can donate. Through your referrals, we are open to your referrals. We are open to your recommendation. We are open to whatever it is that we can all do, because it is a joint effort. We know that definitely we cannot do it alone by ourselves. And then we are calling on everyone to partner with this mission, to partner with Jed Child Trust Foundation to ensure that, yes, Jed achieve the purpose of bringing quality education to every African child. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Arome. Thank you, Mr. Machako. The outreach, a major arm of the Jed Child Trust Foundation. That is where the foundation gets to reach out to the children that are in need. We go to schools, we relate with the school, and we can see them with our own eyes. I'm very sure before the end of this conference, we should be able to bring, show you some pictures of places that we have gone to, as well as videos for you to see the people that we have seen. And currently, we have people that we would like to reach out to as well. So thank you, Mr. Machako, once again, for letting us know what has been done, where we are now, and what the plan is for those children. Okay, let's move to the last session for the day. I hope you're all getting ready for my trivia question, right? So let's see. Before then, let's talk about education technology. We all know what is happening in Nigeria. We understand, I said Nigeria, Africa, We understand that technology is revolving, and a lot of things are happening. Now, technology in education, we understand how it works, and there's a need for us to incorporate that inside the educational scheme of work. So discussing this topic with us, leveraging technology to overcome barriers to quality education, is Desmond Inebwe and Alex Reyes. So let's welcome Desmond Inebwe and Alex Reyes as they discuss with us on education technology. Thank you very much, as we listen to them speak. So Mr. Desmond, let's hear you. What do you have to tell us about education technology? Mr. Desmond Reyes.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear
Mr.
me?
Desmond Inebwe, sorry. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much to the organizers for this opportunity to be here. And it's a pleasure to speak as to how technology and education can find common grounds and how technology can be leveraged as a tool with which we can, improve the educational system of Africa. I don't know if the admin would give me permission to share my screen. I'd like to. Okay, thank you. Please do confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen has been shared.
All right, thank you. So I want to talk about leveraging technology to overcome barriers to quality education. And this is a discussion on how tech can be leveraged or can be deployed to improve the educational sector in Africa. Now, the conference is all about a sustainable framework, right? Creating a sustainable framework. And this is all about creating a means in which education in Africa for Africans, by Africans, is accessible to children within Africa. And it takes into account all of the whole social, economic, and environmental factors that would impact the educational sector in Africa, right? And why is this necessary? I'll give you 3 reasons. Number 1, low enrollment and high dropout rates. While I was doing a research for this conference, I realized that a UNESCO report states that approximately 20% of children between the ages of 6 and 11 years of age are not in school. Now, let's think about it. We have a lot of children in Africa. Now, if we divide the population of Africans, we realize that a larger part of this population are youths, young adults, and children. And if 20% of these people within this age of 6 and 11 are out of school, then it looks like there's trouble. Now, a third of the youths, that is those between 12 and 14, are not in school. Now, this should begin to raise some sort of alarm to us, right? Another reason is why this is necessary, why this sustainable development framework is necessary, is because there's limited access to quality education. Yeah, we can talk about there's access to education, right? But the question is, this education, is it even, quality enough? So there's limited access to quality education for many African children. And then thirdly, access to education is even also limited to certain groups. Say, for example, we can find some places probably that some girl child are less likely to attend schools than boy child, right? People who are in certain, income, some certain middle income family or low income families do not have access to education, because education is even looking like a luxury, to say. So this should not be a situation. This is why there's a call for, an emergency response. There's a call for a sustainable framework that can help everyone have access to education. Now, the talk for today is about leveraging technology to overcome certain barriers, right? Technology can play a crucial role in overcoming some of the barriers in education. And in this slide, in my presentation today, I'm going to show you how we can leverage on technology, how we can use technology, how we can, take this tech and put it in our classrooms or in our schools, so that this technology can now help us improve the quality of education in Africa. And I'm speaking from a perspective of one who has worked in tech for a period of time. who's currently also working in tech and also consulting for tech companies and for startups on how technology can be used to grow the economy. Now, why is this relevant to you? I'm sure this is the question you're asking. So why is this relevant to you? We have several categories of people here. We have teachers, we have school owners, we have parents who have children. So why is this relevant to either of these categories? The teachers, first of all, technology, this topic is relevant to you because you are the person in the first line. You are the first responder. You are the one that is delivering the education. You are the one that is delivering instruction to these children. And then if we can give you the key with which you can overcome certain barriers in education, then we have solved a part of our problem. Technology can help you as a teacher to create an engaging and interactive environment, thereby reducing the rates of apathy when it comes to education amongst children, right? So when you make this technology, this education interesting to the children, then they are less likely to say they don't want to come to school. They are even more likely to say, oh, I want to run down to school because there's something interesting going on there. School owners, how does this affect you? School owners are responsible for the overall administration and management of your schools, right? So deploying technology to aid this overall administration of your school, would even help your school to, be at the edge, will give you an advantage over other academic institutions. So it provides you efficiency and effectiveness in your schools. And also, you can also be able to relate to other stakeholders like parents and teachers and even the children, right? By giving access or allowing access to technology, you give your students a chance to stand out amongst the crowd. Now, to the parents, how does this affect you, or why is this relevant to you as a parent? As a parent, you play an important role in your child's education. You are responsible for ensuring that the children have access to the resources and the tools that they need. So leveraging technology can help you to stay informed about your child's progress. Now, think about this. You send your child to school, and then you are not waiting till the end of the term or till one day when you go to visit the school, or till they call you before you know what's going on with your child in school or how your child is progressing in school. Just imagine that there's a platform, or the school provides a platform where teachers can give real-time feedback to students. And then as a parent, you can see feedback of what's going on with your child in school. Okay, what subject is my child not doing so well in? How can I make the process better? When the child comes back home, what can I do to ensure that this child makes progress in this subject? And then for children, the world today is becoming a data bank. I mean, we are currently almost living in a global digital village. So technology can help children access unlimited amounts of resources from anywhere in the world. Ebooks, educational resources, tutorials, online learning. I mean, name it. There are several resources that are available everywhere in the world for children to leverage on. Now, this is very important, especially for children who find themselves in places where there's little or no access to education. They can have access to these resources and then, can begin to school themselves or have people train them to become the best that they can be. Now, what are the barriers? We are saying why this is necessary, or why it is important. Two reports by UNESCO's International Planning, certain key barriers to education were identified as some of the things they want to take as priorities. Now, while studying all of this, I came across 4 barriers that I think are really, really important: demographics, quality of education, inclusion in education. And I think one of the speakers or the person in charge of programs and outreach was mentioned it to while he was presenting, that there's an issue with inclusion, right? So inclusion and then financing. One of the speakers mentioned it in the last session, that how can we get financing for, and these are certain barriers that hinder people from getting the kind of education that they need, especially as Africans. Now, what does demographics talk about? Demographics says that a large amount of youth, is basically just talking about how that a large amount of people in Africa, have a challenge when it comes to getting education. The high quality or high population growth rate in Africa means that there's a larger number of children and youth who needs to be able to access education. Remember previously I had said that when we look at Africa in general, a larger population of the people we have in Africa are children and youths. Now, this means that there's an increasing number of people who needs to have access to education. People who are living in rural areas, urban areas, in sub-Saharan Africa, in several places who must just get education through to them. But then this puts pressure on the education system, right? Because we need to now provide more schools. We need to provide more teachers. We need to provide more educational resources to meet the needs of all of these children. That's one, demographics. Number two is the quality of education. It's not just enough to meet the needs of these children. It's not enough to be able to provide teachers. Are we providing quality teachers? It's not enough to provide resources. Are we providing quality resources? So the quality of education in Africa is oftentimes poor, right? And I'm sure you'd agree with me, which is why we're having this conference, so that we can see how we can improve on the quality of education, right? No doubt we have Africans who go out of the world who go out of Africa and then, or even within Africa, compete in international competition, and then they come out bright and shining, right? But then we need to look within ourselves and see how can this, we don't just want to have a handful of people, we want it to spread around people. So the quality of education, and this includes the textbook, the trained teachers, the basic facilities, and all, that needs to be improved upon so that the quality of education can be increased. Number three is inclusion.
Thank you, Mr. Desmond. Thank you, Mr. Desmond. You have said a lot concerning education and technology, and the reason why we need to embrace it, and also the challenges that are being faced in order for us to achieve this feat. Let us hear from Ms. Reyes. Mrs. Reyes. Let's hear from Reyes what she has to say.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
I hope I got the pronunciation of your name right.
Okay.
Dr.
Alex Reyes.
Alex Reyes. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it means kings. It's in Spanish. Reyes is Spanish. So anyway, I'll start with my first part will be a short speech that I created, and the second part I'll share. So education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. And that is why I am very passionate about it as an educator and an owner of an IT company that is focused on education technology. So ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to be here today to discuss the importance of leveraging technology to overcome barriers to quality education in Africa. As we all know, education is the key to unlocking the full potential of individuals, communities, and nations. However, in Africa, access to quality education is still a major challenge. Many students in Africa face barriers such as poverty, lack of infrastructure, and limited access to resources. These barriers can make it difficult for students to receive the education they need to succeed in life. But today, I want to talk about how technology can be leveraged to overcome these barriers and provide students with access to quality education. One of the ways technology can be leveraged is through online educational resources and e-learning platforms like YesTech. And we are happy to be partners with Jed Child Trust organization. Platforms can provide students in remote and rural areas with access to educational materials and virtual classes, even if they don't have access to traditional schools. This can help bridge the gap between urban and rural students and ensure that all students have access to quality education, which is one of my CSRs. Quality education, when you talk about the Sustainable Development Goals. Another way technology can be leveraged is through mobile technology. With mobile technology, students can access educational materials and participate in virtual classes from their own devices at the comfort of their own homes or wherever they may be. We have a basic application with YesTech, which you can download through Google Play. When they download the materials, they can be able to get all the learnings that they need. This can be particularly useful for students in areas with limited or no internet access afterwards because they have downloaded it. Technology can also be used to improve literacy and numeracy skills. Educational software and apps such as what we have with YesTech can be used to help students who have fallen behind their studies catch up and improve their skills because this is really important. Furthermore, technology can be used to track students' progress and identify areas where additional support is needed. This can help educators to tailor their instruction to the needs of individual students, which can lead to better outcomes, which most of our speakers have talked about. Technology can also be used to provide training and resources to teachers on how to effectively use technology in the classroom, which we will be doing with Jed Child Trust organization, training 3,000 teachers every year with the support of the Ministry of Education. This can help teachers to integrate technology into their instruction in ways that can enhance student learning and engagement. In addition, technology can be used to create interactive and engaging learning experiences that help to keep students motivated and engaged in their studies. This can be particularly important for students who may have lost interest in traditional forms of instruction. Lastly, technology can be used to provide students with hands-on learning experiences that would otherwise be difficult or impossible to replicate in a traditional classroom setting. This can be particularly useful for subjects such as science, technology, engineering, and math. In conclusion, technology is a powerful tool that can be leveraged to overcome barriers to quality education in Africa. By using technology to provide students with access to educational resources, virtual classes, and interactive learning experiences, we can help to ensure that all students have the opportunity to receive quality education and achieve their full potential. Education must be localized. We study the values, traditions, and lifestyle of the country, and we capitalize on this by addressing the challenges by creating a curriculum and plans that will encourage, inspire, and truly impact learning. We develop an approach that will highlight the priority problems in the country, such as Nigeria. We want education to be impactful and relevant, and that we will create opportunities and provide jobs and make people successful. This is what matters. Education that is useful, equitable, and truly relevant. So I'll show you my screen so that you will understand how we can leverage technology in education. So as I told you, it is a very powerful tool that has changed the way teachers teach and the way students learn. Technology has given access to many different ways of communicating and working together. So we are one with Jed Child Trust in providing equitable, inclusive education. So we see at the traditional classroom, we have wide access to educational materials, more channels and tools available for communication and collaboration. It allows for personalized types of lessons for students. If we mix the traditional way with technology, we will really be successful. We get the best of both worlds. So here are things that we could do when we do not have access to technology, because we can still download it. We can get offline educational resources. We can get text message-based learning, portable devices, radio and television-based education, printed materials, community-based learning centers, blended learning programs, which I just talked about, the traditional way, and doing it online, which is hybrid, micro schools, mobile learning labs, so schools that just go around, and collaborative learning, where teachers collaborate with other teachers and students as well. So what are the benefits for the teachers? It allows teachers to become more flexible. It helps them to connect with their students and unlock access to more resources, because we have a lot of things that we can use through technology. For the students, it allows for a more personalized learning experience. It will improve their communication, help them prepare for the future, and it will also spark their interest. So with distance learning, we offer that here with Yes Tech to Jed Child Trust. We are critical to education today, and it will likely remain be important in the future schools to determine the best way to move forward. Schools use this to offer a combination of distance and face-to-face learning. And of course, the future of learning includes online classrooms, meaning it's digital learning for everyone. Of course, global market for practical courses and certifications, and improving the quality of mixed learning. So when we are able to really address the problems of the country and we know what it is, we'll be able to really provide the education that that country needs. Because as what most of our speakers have talked about, it should be localized, it should be inclusive, it should be equitable and doable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Alice. It's an eye opener on the advantages of using technology, and the fact that we do not necessarily have to totally do away with the traditional mode of education. We can actually merge the two and make the best of the two of them. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. Okay, someone is asking already. Mr. Desmond and Dr. Alex, do you have any academic papers on this? Question.
Well, for this conference, I have done research. However, I did not write an academic paper on this, but I have dissertation on providing curriculum for children and using education technology. So we have that. But in terms of this, it is more of research and presentation.
What of Mr. Desmond?
But I can, yes.
Yes. Yeah, so for this, it's more of like a research and a presentation available in PDF form.
I think what we can do is, if you're interested in the materials, you can just put in your email address in the chat room, and you'll get the material sent to you.
Okay.
So I hope we've been able to answer to Glorious. It's not an academic paper, but rather it's a research material. Okay, is there any question? Any question for Mr. Desmond and any question for Mr. Desmond and Dr. Alice? Any question as regards technology and education? Okay, before then, while we're waiting for people to ask questions, Dr. Alice, do you in any way partner to get technology for schools in terms of providing educational solutions, such technology solutions for schools?
Yes. Yes, in fact, we power certain schools in our country. Like we have Montessori de Oro, we Power City Central School. And we also provide the learning management system for Department of Education National Capital Region for their teacher trainings. So we have been endorsed by the National Educators Academy of the Philippines in terms of helping teachers with their trainings. Also, we are partnering with the City of Cebu for their reading intervention program, which will be signing very soon. And of course, with Jed Child Trust, I think it is also with teacher trainings as well. So more of really a school for teachers and helping them through our learning management system. Of course, we also have schools and other incubators where they, just like Clyde Arcosa, with the CEO, they actually use the learning management system as well for their learnings. Yes. I think we have lost our
moderator,
host,
yeah.
our moderator. So Desmond, it's great to like learn from you. And I think
sorry,
yeah.
sorry, I didn't know I
Yes.
unmuted.
Yes.
I didn't know I muted myself. Oh my, I've been
Okay.
talking.
Yes.
Okay, I said, Mr. Desmond, okay,
Yes,
as
please.
regards technology in Africa, not only in Nigeria, but using Nigeria as a case study, how best do you think we can tackle this challenge of technology? We all know what is happening. Most African countries do not have technology involved, really. We are still practicing the traditional mode of education, really. So how can we really overcome this challenge, really? How? As parents, maybe as guardians, or maybe as from the teachers front, how can we help in bridging that gap?
Okay. So the solution to this is to become adopters of technology, right? Let us not wait for a pandemic or another pandemic to happen before we begin to see the need to adopt this technology. For example, I was speaking to before, while preparing for this event, I spoke to an educator, and then she was explaining to me how that it was during the pandemic that a lot of schools, a lot of instructors, a lot of educators began to see the need for technology. And this should not be the case, right? The case should be that we should all, as Africans, in every place, we should all begin to adopt technology from making use of LMS, learning management systems, for example, Google Classroom, Zoom, Moodle, and all other sort of like learning management system. We should all we should imbibe this attitude of being early adopters of technology, so that we find ourselves in a place where we are at an advantage, right? So this is how we can be able to win this game, because we find out that many times we are reacting to situations. When something happens, that is when we begin to look for a way out. Why don't we sit back and think of how we can be proactive? And how we can be proactive is to become early adopters. As teachers, we need to find out what is the best way technology can serve me in my field, and what tool do I need to learn to enable this. As parents, we need to find out what is the best way technology can help me educate my child faster, and how do I need to begin to adopt this. As school owners, we need to find out what is the best way technology can help us in our school become, have an advantage, have a competitive edge. Now, if we begin to do this, we begin to find out that we are being proactive rather than reacting to certain challenges, rather than just sitting back and waiting for another pandemic, which we do not pray for, right? Or waiting for something to happen before we begin to look for solutions.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, Saliu has a question for us. Please, can it be unmuted? Please, can he be unmuted? Saliu. Okay, please ask your question. Saliu, please, can you unmute Saliu, please? Can Saliu be unmuted? Technical team.
Hello.
Thank you, Saliu. Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Bakari Saliu Adam, a psychology student from Indira Gandhi National Open University, India.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, my question goes like this. I want to take Nigeria as a case study concerning IT technology in as far as, education is concerned here in Nigeria. The system of education in Nigeria is, in terms of IT technology, is a little bit, a throwback. When you compare rural and urban system of education, you see that in the urban areas, we have a heavy throwback of educational technology. My question goes to Dr. Alice. How do you think you contribute toward the development of IT in rural system of education? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so yes,
before you answer the question, before you answer the question, please hold on, just note it down. Let's hear Emmanuel ask his question as well. Emmanuel Hamadu. Okay, Emmanuel Alamdu.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you unmute her? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, house.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
My name is Alhamdi Emmanuel. I'm from Nigeria, from Kaduna State, Nigeria. I'm a student from Anglican College of Science and Technology. I'm Health Information Management student yet. My question goes this way I would like to use Nigeria as a case study, mostly in the rural area, the system of education, mostly in terms of technology or IT, because here, mostly in my community here, we have so many schools that do have system, but they lack teachers, those that can teach them how to operate the system in their libraries. So, I would like to ask you, what's your contribution towards that? What's your advice how to overcome this in the community? And students are passionate enough to learn system, actually this generation. There are so many students that are passionate to learn computer, and because of all these challenges, they couldn't pop up or they couldn't make it. So what's your advice, or what do you think we can do to make this thing convenient and so that it will work well in the community, especially our rural areas?
Okay, thank you very much. Now, please, you can answer the question, Dr. Alice and Mr. Desmond.
Okay, so when it comes to ICT learning, that is really like something that is of your interest, really. So right now with Jed Child Trust organization, I could actually answer the question of the other person that asked about how you could help, because it's the teachers that are really challenged in using these technological tools. So what we are going to do with Jed Child Trust organization is that we will provide the necessary training for retooling, reskilling, retraining the teachers in terms of how to really use technology, because I know most of the teachers are not digital natives, and the students are. So it means that the students are have advantage, and with the teachers is a struggle. So that is what we will address first, because the teachers cannot be effective if they are not familiar with the learning management system they are using. They'll not be able to function well if we do not teach them well with how to navigate through the system. And of course, they really have to know this in order for them to be more effective as teachers. Now, when it comes to ICT training, you will be able to get a lot of resources online. We are actually building a page where we curate all the resources that you will need, and we will be sharing that very soon. It means that there will be free workshops, free trainings, even on ICT, so that you can compete with other people from other countries. And some of them are free resources. So we are actually doing that right now. It's called the Knowledge Builder. And so we will share that with Jed Child Trust organization as well, since we are partners with Jed Child Trust organization. And of course, it will help you with cloud-based, IT solutions and all the things that, other people from other countries such as India, even Silicon Valley, are learning in terms of really ICT, and so that you could really compete with them. So we have that in our Knowledge Builder in order to help those that really want to learn. We will be launching that very soon. So just keep in touch with the people from Jed Child Trust organization, because there will be free resources that you can really take advantage of. After all, there are no barriers anymore as long as you have the connection, you have connectivity, you're able to access this online as well. So there are courses where you will just have to invest in hours. Time is important. So if you have the time, you'll be able to learn. So that is how we can address ICT learning, and it wouldn't be a problem because it will teach you about coding, cloud based, and other things that gamification and other things that you would need in order to really compete with other people from different parts of the world. Yes, because we need to be, relevant, and we need to make sure that the education that we provide is equitable and inclusive, and really will make impact and help you get the job that you need. After all, it wouldn't be leveraging education if we are not able to contribute to the life of the person. I think that is what is most important for me. Over to you, our anchor.
Dr. Desmond, would you like to add something to it, to what's said?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Mr. Desmond, yeah.
Yes. I particularly love the fact that she talked about training more teachers. I was going to talk about that, deploying more teachers to those environments. And in cases where there's like a handful of teachers, we could leverage community-based learning, right? Where we have people come together as a community to learn, and then we make use of these online resources. And using these online resources, we are basically teaching ourselves, right? So that's one. Then we could also have government-private, like public-private partnerships, where the government comes up with an initiative and then have the private sector drive that initiative and see it to come to fulfillment. So these are some of the additions I just want to add to it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Desmond and Dr. Alice. It's been an interesting time out. This is the end of this session. Thank you very much for coming, for joining us, and for teaching us and enlightening us as well. Now, I'm very sure everybody has been having fun, really. We've had fun, we've learned, we've had some information, new things to learn from. So if you are ready for my question, I have recharge card, 1,000 recharge card to give to my winner today, and it's the fastest finger as regards my question. Today, from the beginning to the end, we have mentioned at least 2 things that Jed Child Trust does. Can you please list them? 2 things that Jed Child Trust Foundation does. It was mentioned today. Just two. Just send your answers into the chat room. Two things that Jed Child Trust, out of all the things that they've been doing, two things. While we are doing that, we are going to be playing our transformation video for you to watch. I'm waiting to see my winner. I'm waiting to see my winner, everybody. I'm waiting to see my winner. So let's go on. Two things out of the presentations that was done today, and two things, at least two. I want to see it. I hope you get it right. So let's watch the transformation video.
Mr. Sibu, Peter Sibu, Islam. Okay, I'm going to take secondary school. I've got PC secondary school. Do to one academic corporate. If I from I've got PC secondary school. Just now, what I told my because before I take care of them, it's no to me. Nobody's caring for me again. In my him, mom, then you know Baragasa, nobody with your friend, nobody with your brother. Oh, run up, a chair. My baby, you had that door, Mamma, my boy, who was a giddy. Before the man out of 2 years now, if I'm not building my roughly 2 years. I need help, I beg you, so you say help me. God is telling me that I'm not telling lies. He knows what I'm passing through. He knows what I'm passing through. Please, oh, my kind at least now, Kolan has school fees. You look at all books. They know on me. You're not waiting. So they go on Pamimbi. Offer one, I know that Yaga. Swing the field, the Emano Aturato, Ajaturato, olden days. My father tried to share for helping us to manage with that building. So when you after Yana for them, and upon the zinc window, and the money they could get up on Margaret, to show your kuboon, to show your kuboon. Russia, make a little. I have Macabe, I measure 2 weeks there, for Hakamahi. Since I am a mission of my there's no way. My brother. Amazon burning him upon him can pass through. Any help we help them, allowing my children to further their education. Do it. God will reward you. He cannot leave you astray. He cannot leave you handicapped or without any future hope. Please, anywhere you can help me, please do it. God will reward you back. Please. Please. Yeah, this is no mark in the school. Till the end of my life, I can never forget him. I'll be remembering him in prayer, in anything that will make God listen to his prayer, or God will favor him on any corner. Please help me. God is going to reward you. As far as you are putting hand on my family, you can never go astray. God will lead you. So please.
My name is Oniwulan Benjamin, 11 years of primary school. Motoka, electric nursery motoka. If I'm going to school, please carry me. PPP, Papa, electric nursery motoka. I want to be a lawyer. My name is Oniwulan Benjamin, 7 years. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
My name is Mrs. Chinaka Blessing. I'm a teacher in this school. And as a teacher, I'm here not because the government is taking care of us as they should. I'm doing it because I have the passion to teach the children. That's what is keeping me as a teacher. If we continue to look at the government, I may resign, but because I have the passion to teach, to see that these children come out human beings in the future, that's what is keeping me here. And on your side, I thank God for bringing you people, because as you people said, there are so many children that's out of school because of poverty, because of other conditions. But God just brought you people to come and help. I pray that God will help you people carry out all your intentions, all your good intentions, so that these poor people will have access to education like other people. Like some children who goes to school in town, they have everything. As a child, you must have your reader, you must have every requirement, all the materials that you need to learn. But those of them in the local school like this, they don't have even pen to write with, not to talk of having textbooks that they need. Having textbook, no child in my class will present, this is my textbook for English and Maths. But God brought you people so that you will help them achieve their end, so that at the end, they will come out as proper, furnished human beings, and this state will be blessed. Thank you.
My name is Mr. Uchi Rutu. I'm a teacher here in Basic 5. I think being a teacher is a call from God. And as a teacher, you have to be endurable, you have to have patience. Then there are certain things you have to endure. Then on this premise, I'm thanking you people, at least, for coming to this school. Like what we are lacking so many things here, like on the side of instructional materials. You know, with instructional materials, a learner or problem can be able to, a teacher don't have much work. Once you have instructional materials, when you place it on them, they can be able to identify them depending on the topic you are teaching them one by one. So please, with this effect, I'm pleading on you people to at least help us, particularly on the side of instructional materials. And though in Nigeria there are so many NGOs here that I won't start mentioning names, but they've not come to this area before. But with your involvement here, I think there will be a headway. Thank you very much.
My name is Mrs. Oye Scholastica. I'm a teacher in this school. I love to teach. That's my career.
Okay, I can see us. I can see us. I can see a lot of messages trooping in. I have not seen my correct answer yet. In the course of the conference today, there were certain things that were mentioned. In the next 1 minute, I would say the answer and would see if you're right. But so far, so good. I'm seeing. But there were things that was specified, that was specifically mentioned in the course of this training. When we were having breaks, there were videos that were shown, and we had some presentations made. I'm not talking about the conference topics. I'm talking about what was shown on the screen while the conference was going on. During our breaks, there were things that we showed you as part of the things that Jed Child Trust does. So I'm waiting. I've not found my winner yet. I've not found my winner yet. Okay, I think I'm very sure I'm very sure everybody would agree with me by the time I tell you what the answer is. I remember that um, after the second session, we had a break where we showed you the video of Femme La Cohorte. Femme La Cohorte. That was one of the things that the Jed Child Trust organization does. That's one, and nobody mentioned it. The second answer that we expect to see is the outreach. So from here, the first person to answer was Esther Oladejo, but unfortunately, she didn't get the answer. She wrote Girl Child Education, Empowering Educators Across Africa. That wasn't what was said. That was not what we presented as part of the things that Jed Child Trust does. This is just an idea of what they do. But specifically, we mentioned Femme La Cohorte, we mentioned the Jed outreach. Please, it's very important that we are attentive and we follow everything that is going on in the conference. We follow everything that is going on in the conference. I'm not happy. Nobody got my recharge card today. Why? Why? At least I wish I got someone that was close to it. Someone that was close. Nobody. Please let us learn to follow the conference that is happening. Tomorrow is another day. We are going to be having a lot of activities. We are going to be awarding winners of the last S competition that was done. Every year, the Jed Child Trust organization for university students, and the winners become ambassadors for a year, as well as cash prizes. Winners of last year will be awarded tomorrow, and we'll be opening the competition for the new year. So stay tuned tomorrow. Don't forget to come again. It's going to be interesting. And I hope tomorrow, because we did not have a winner today, tomorrow we are going to pick two winners to pick up our recharge card. Don't forget, there's a task at hand. Go to Get DP. I've already posted it before. Let me post it again. Don't forget to post a Get DP of the conference with your picture on any of the platforms and tag JED Child Trust Foundation on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. When you post it, ensure you tag us and we'll follow you. The page or the account with the highest engagement would win a 5,000 naira worth of voucher, shopping voucher. So get ready and keep posting. I would like to call on the program head, Mr. Tayo Adebusui, to come and give us his closing remark for today. And if there's any other announcement, I'm very sure would let us know. Thank you, Mr. Tayo. And before then, I would like to say thank you to all our guest speakers, Mr. Muyiwa, Ms. Joseph, Mr. Inebwe, and every other person that have been on the show today, on the conference today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of the conference. And Mr. Tayo, kindly come and give us your vote of thanks and closing remark. Mr. Tayo.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you, for looking for this opportunity. I also want to thank the Jed Child Trust Foundation.
Please speak up. Speak up for us. Speak up.
All right, can you
Yes.
all right, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes,
So
we
I actually
can.
want to
Thank
thank you for looking me. Yeah, I want to thank you for today. I want to thank you for a job well done. I also want to thank everyone that made themselves available. I also want to thank the speakers. That's from Mr. Muyiwa to Dr. Alex. Dr. Alex Reyes. Thank you very much. Yes. To Clyde, to Desmond, to Aisha Joseph, and also to Mr. Joseph himself. I actually want to say thank you. And I hope you all learned a thing or two from today conference. As we all have said, or as we all have concluded, the education of children in Africa, it's actually very, very important and very, very crucial to our development as a continent and as a nation. And that's why the Jed Child Trust Foundation is doing all they can. We are doing all we can, okay, to ensure that no child is actually being left out. And with the conference, it's possible in your own way, in your own area, to be a part of this movement, to do a little thing you can within your community, within with children within your reach, as the speakers have said. We actually everything we need to grow, everything we need to expand and develop ourselves is actually within us. So, and I think it's within you and it's within me. And yeah, I think that will be a wrap. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
You're muted.
Okay, Foluke, we can't hear you. So
Sorry. Okay. I said, please don't forget, tomorrow is another day, 12 noon sharp. We are going to be discussing more things, and we're also going to be winning more prize. We're also going to be awarding prizes to people. It's going to be interesting, it's going to be fun. And like I said, my recharge card that was not won today can still be won tomorrow. So instead of having one winner tomorrow, we'll be having two winners for the recharge card tomorrow. But you have to be attentive during the conference. So please, don't forget to post. Don't forget the online competition going on at the moment. Be a part of it, and you get to win the 5,000 naira shopping bag. So bye bye. See ya tomorrow. Bye.
Bye and thank you.